Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV class and job quests. Well, it's been a little bit since I've gotten to do this, since, Dawntrail gave us an actual patch to play around in. But that's all done. No new content until, I believe Hildy is our next big content drop that we're waiting for there. At least, content that I can do recording stuff on. So it's back to the old job grind and picking up where we left off with Scholar. Because we did Summoner and we did the base class for both of them earlier. Then I had to go on vacation, and now I finally get to pick this up just in time for me to drop it right afterwards so we can start doing Silk Song. It's just the way that things go. This class, I have like the least familiarity with out of every class in Final Fantasy XIV. I barely touched it at all when I was doing leveling, basically because I never had to. I leveled Summoner to 100. I never touched Scholar. And if you want proof in the pudding, well, let's take a look at the New Game Plus and you'll see how little I've actually done in Scholar. You're not gonna show me because I'm technically in this mode, but let's put it this way. I never did any of the Scholar job quests after A Realm Reborn. That's how little I've touched this class. So, a lot of this is going to be absolutely blind for me beyond Realm Reborn and the things that my friend has told me because he is a big Scholar nut, mainly because this class quest line involves his favorite Final Fantasy creature, hands down. So, buckle up because we're going to have ourselves some fun times today. Of course, I have to be on my Arcanist before we can actually pick this up, which is why I'm wearing the same gear I was wearing as a Black Mage. Basically, they can wear the same thing. I just look weird as a level 100 Arcanist, that's all. All right, Miri. Forgotten, but not gone.
Dekumon, have you any interest in history? If so, I would share with you an opportunity to study the ways of the ancients. A curiously refined and well-read marauder visited the guild the other day in the hopes he might meet an Arcanist of exceptional skill. Unfortunately, the only one left around was you, so oh well. He claims that the assistance of one such individual would be invaluable for the success of his archaeological research. I say claims because despite his eloquence, the thought of a marauder with academic ambitions still strikes me as odd. You are, of course, free to formulate your own opinions. His name is Alkazoka, and he can be found at the Marauders Guild should curiosity overwhelm you.
Alkazoka. That is a name I have not heard in a long time. Ah, yes, the one I kept mistaking for a girl because of that haircut.
Thank you for setting aside your preconceptions, Dekumon. I'm acutely aware how unusual it is for a marauder to conduct research, as it were.
That's true enough. Also, just remember, we are starting from the end of the Arcanist nods, not the Summoner nods.
However, you shall soon understand that I am not at all like my more muscular brethren. Rather than rush blindly into the enemy's maw, I formulate and execute stratagems to great effect. My archaeological pursuits are but an extension of this practice. For at present I am researching the military tactics of ancient Nim. It would not surprise me if you were unfamiliar with Nim. The civilization flourished some 15 odd centuries ago during the 5th Astral Era. The Nimians lived during an age of wonders, when the magical arts flourished. But magics can be wielded for weal or for woe, and this period of peace eventually gave way to the Great War of the Magi.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we heard all about that for the Black Mages.
The nations of that bygone era brought earth-shattering magics to bear against one another. Yet Nim, with only a handful of mages to support its army of mariners, repulsed would-be invaders time and time again. Precisely how a military force of this composition could defy its stronger neighbors is a mystery which has long puzzled mystery historians. By translating exited Nimian tablets which I have recently purchased, I mean to solve that riddle at long last. As my knowledge of Arcanima is cursory at best, I require an experienced Arcanist to assist me with my analysis of any text pertaining to the magical arts. Will you be that Arcanist, Dekumon? There is, however, a complication. The Nimian tablets and other assorted relics, for which I paid an exceedingly large amount of money, were stolen en route to Limsa Laminsa.
Oh.
The information inscribed upon these tablets could be of untold significance. I will not allow thieves to sell it to some rich Ul'dan collector for a pittance. Pray accompany me to the Raincatcher Gully docks and help me reclaim my relics. I have a strong reason to believe the perpetrators can be found there.
bit of a history lesson, but Scholar, Summoner, and of course their base class Arcanist, they're the only new classes that were added in Realm Reborn's launch. If it was in 2.0, it was in 1.0 except for these. And I guess that's the reason why they decided to try this little experiment of the split jobs. Unfortunately, as you can see, they've never done it since, and basically have dropped the idea of base classes altogether once the expansion started coming out. Oh, that's a duty calls too.
Ah, as I suspected, they are not more than broken men who have seized the docks and taken to robbing every passing ship. Come, let us put an end to their banditry and take back what is ours.
This is interesting. I'm getting a duty calls for the Arcanist, not the Scholar. All right, hang on. Let me get my carbuncle out so we can play. And we'll just start cleaning house here. Can't do much else. All right, you're done. And you're done. Broken Lancer, Broken Marauder. Why are you guys so broken, Maybe it should say they're broke. That's why they're turning to thievery. Alright, you're done. You're done. A couple friends of mine are starting up a game here. Fun little game called Abyssus, which is basically just kind of like a little FPS roguelike. And then we just wait for Ether Charge. Is this literally all it is? It's just gonna be like a couple packs of small fry? Alright. Searching for tablets. Finding tablets. I bet they're in here.
Yes, yes, this is it. A treatise on Nimian military tactics, just as I had hoped.
Well, I have secured the real prize. A pocket girlfriend. Heck, even if I was a Lala, she'd be a pocket girlfriend.
Hello there. Am I hallucinating? Was this thing covered in heroin? Oh! Mayhap the tablet can explain this. Scholars? Familiars? Fairies? The sunlight of Eos doth soothe and shield. The moonlight of Selene doth silence and strengthen.
Ooh. Yeah, we don't have Selene anymore except as a skid, but there used to be two Scholar pets that you'd swap between. Eos was the defensively minded one and Selene was the offensively minded one. Needless to say, the offensively minded one, Selene, she didn't see a lot of use. You know, except for moonlight strolls. Ah!
Dekumon.
She's in my brain.
By the 12, have you any idea what this means? We have rediscovered the long-lost magical arts of Nimian scholars.
And she's gone. Well, that was interesting, and yeah, that was really just that it. Short little fight.
Fairies. Honest to good fairies. Well, now I've seen everything. Anyway, I shall return to the guild and begin translating the tablet. I cannot wait to see what other secrets it contains.
And that's the quest.
Excellent timing, Dekumon. I've just finished transcribing a section which will doubtless be of interest to you. According to the tablet, the crystal from which the fairy sprang forth is called the Soul of the Scholar, and it contains the wisdom of those long-dead Nimian mages. With it, you can call upon the fairy as you did before and bind her to your will. As I said before, I have little knowledge of Arcanima, so unless you have some objections, I would like to entrust the crystal to you. Oh, and you needn't recompense me. Simply knowing that the lost arts are being preserved is enough. I shall devote my energies to deciphering the remaining text. Should I discover anything new, I promise that you will be the first to know.
Well, lucky me. And with that, we claim the Scholar class. And of course, we gotta get some Scholar skills, like Adlo, which is basically your heal, if I remember correctly. Yep, with the soul of the Scholar equipped, you can summon a fairy to aid you in battle. When called forth, you will assume the form of a healer-type pet. Moreover, by completing the quest of Fairy Tale Come True, which I have done off-screen, I did that ages ago when it first came out, you may cast glamours on your fairy familiar, allowing her to take on other appearances. Yes, that's how they handle Celine existing now. She's just a freaking glamour. Now, I will be right back as soon as I change into something a little more appropriate. I do have to say, compared to the Summoner outfit, I much prefer the Scholar outfit. The little, the graduation cap is cute. And the overall look, it's pretty darn nice. I don't know, Summoner always looks like stupid and ridiculous to me. Scholar looks pretty decent, although as usual, we will be going without the hat. I don't know, I just like having my character's head fully exposed. Anyway, my skills are all set, so let's pick up the next quest. The Last Remnants.
Ah, Dekumon, I was hoping you might come along. Deciphering the treatise has proven more difficult than I anticipated, but I have nevertheless made progress. It contains a wealth of military knowledge, much of which details the role of scholars in Nemean units. Apparently, a single scholar could provide effective support for an entire party of marauders. They would employ their magics to heal the wounds and enhance the abilities of their allies. Moreover, they often served in leadership roles, as they were highly trained tacticians. But how swiftly the remembrance of all things is buried in the gulf of eternity. The treatise indicates that Nemean scholars wielded a far more diverse repertoire of spells than you currently possess. Precisely why you lack these spells, I cannot say. However, the fault may lie with your fairy. One could surmise that the knowledge contained within the soul of the scholar is essentially hers. Therefore, if she cannot remember the ancient magics, it would suggest that... a thought occurs to me. If it is indeed the case that the fairy, having been sealed for 1500 years, has yet to fully regain her senses, mayhap visiting a familiar location would hasten the process. And I can think of no more familiar place than the city of Nim, rather what remains of it in Outer Lenosha.
Ah. Interesting concept. Also, since we're talking about Miss Fairy, might as well make sure she's actually out. I suspect we're going to be spending a fair amount of time in this area, considering Nim in the Nimian region.
The fairy starts to remember.
That's all this is. I'm just gonna have to walk up to each one of these. I'm not gonna get anything interesting until I get the very last one, I imagine. Here's the last one, and like I said, nothing interesting happened when I poked any of the others. Nothing happens here. Just another quest marker. This one, I expect we'll get something slightly interesting. Also, I've always loved this view of the floating little platforms everywhere. It's so freaking surreal. Reminds me of the City of Clouds we got later on. All right, little fairy. Have we started to remember things now? She's not much of a talker, I'm afraid. Wow, I guess that's it. Just back to town we go. At least this is right next to a teleporter. Makes things a lot easier.
Welcome back, Dekumon. I gather the experiment met with success. Then this strongly suggests that each fairy is a distinct individual with her own thoughts, feelings, and memories. Well, I must redouble my efforts to translate the remaining text. At this rate, your discoveries threaten to overshadow mine. Not to bemoan your accomplishments, but I have yet to decipher any equally amazing stratagems. Soon enough, though, soon enough.
I mean, we've got a whole quest line to get through, so don't worry too much, Akka. In the meantime, I shall pick up Sucker, which I don't remember. I think that one actually got, yeah, that got replaced with this one, Consultation. But yeah, it's the single target barrier, or the AoE barrier, I'm not sure which. Anyway, next up, the consequences of Anchor. Oh dear.
How curious that you always come at the most opportune time, Dekumon. 'Tis divine providence almost. Doubly so since we have both been blessed with a chance to refine our respective arts. You see, in your absence, I have been studying a section of the Nemean treatise detailing marauder fighting techniques. The fundamentals do not differ much from modern methods, but there are slight variations in footwork and grip, as well as the distinctions between the various ranges and the attacks best employed when... forgive me, I've lost sight of the more pertinent point. Nemean scholars and marauders fought side by side, yes? Well, now you and I have an opportunity to do the same. A Tonberry has been spotted in Bronze Lake, and the Marauders Guild has been asked to dispatch it. Since Tonberries dwell within the Wanderer's Palace, an ancient Nemean temple recently discovered in the wake of the Calamity, there is a strong possibility that the creatures have resided there since before the fall of Nim. Do you follow my reasoning, Dekumon? These malevolent creatures may have overrun the temple and claimed it for their own at the height of Nemean civilization. They may even have posed a major threat to the ancient people. Even. Moved as even. If so, then surely facing one in battle would rekindle the memories of your fairy. Even if I am mistaken, the Thornberry poses a threat to the locals. Moreover, I would very much like to put my newly learned Nemean techniques to the test. So, we'll be rendezvous outside the Wanderer's Palace, yes?
Yes. Alright. I'm not entirely surprised that this is a duty calls. I feel like the healers get more of them just because as a healer you're expected to, be healing. So you need someone to heal, and that's kind of hard to do it just as a field battle. Alright, let's see how this goes.
Well met, Dekumon. I had only just arrived myself. 'Twas in this vicinity that the Thornberry was last sighted. With luck, it will not have gone far.
Oh. She's just gonna do that a lot, isn't she? Just appear and... That Tonberry is wearing a scholar's cap. That's concerning.
Look, atop the stairs.
And glasses.
My son, my dear son, at long last
Uh-oh.
the rancor, it rises.
It comes.
Oh, my fairy dipped. Oh, thankfully I didn't have to resummon you. Alright. I don't actually have ether flow here. Oh shit, that's irritating. Alright, well we deal with this as we deal with most enemies. Smash the enemy in the face until I need to do otherwise. Speaking of otherwise is a coming. Oh god, here comes another one. I do not have AoE skills yet. Okay, yep, Sucker is the AoE one. God damn, Sophie, you have a lot of health. Oh, and he's getting paralyzed here too. Hold up. Gotta deal with these fucking oozes here. Ah! I'm fat. There we go. I'm unfat. You're unfat. That got healed. And you get a barrier for good measure. I don't have a silence. I can't do anything about that. There, get that bone off you at the last second.
What are you doing? Move, you little fairy!
Oh, I think I remember where this is going.
Oh, confront it all!
They know each other. The encounter with the Tonberry has rekindled the fairy's memories. Well, that was very interesting, wasn't it?
Ah! What happened, Dekumon? I thought you could control her. Ah, I apologize. I know you've been only just begun to work with the fairy. Some disobedience is to be expected, after all. I expressed a Winston will be disappointed. But there is not what we can do. The Tonberry is long gone. Let us return to Limsa Laminsa. Dekumon, permit me to apologize a second time. Earlier I was flustered and not myself. In the aftermath of the Tonberry's escape, I completely overlooked our accomplishments. We confirmed the viability of Nemean tactics and proved that the Scholar and Marauder working in tandem is a force to be reckoned with, would you not say? And, correct me if I am mistaken, but your fairy regained some of her memory, yes? With that in mind, I feel comfortable claiming that this was a worthwhile endeavor. However, do try and gain greater mastery over your minion, Dekumon. I would hate for a repeat of that incident.
She does what she wants, man. I'm not in control of her. She's a free spirit. Anyway, next up, in the image of the ancients.
Good to see you, Dekumon. I've made yet another discovery which pertains to you and your scholarly arts. Just this second. I have come into possession of several ancient engravings, including some which show the traditional raiments of Nemean scholars. In fact, the extraordinary detail of these illustrations, coupled with the information gleaned from other sources, was sufficient to deduce the design. At present, it is impossible to say how historically accurate my designs are. That is why I propose we enlist the aid of Eorzea's permanent artisans, so that we might recreate these garments. Should they prove sufficiently authentic, I expect your fairy will regain more of her missing memories. In the hands of a preeminent weaver, say Master Redolent Rose of Sunsilk Tapestries, this information should be sufficient. But you cannot journey to Uldar until you have gathered the leaves of a direwalt. My texts explicitly mention that the plant's pigments were used to dye Nemean uniforms. Alas, direwalt is much rarer than it was in the days of yore. It can only be found in the fog fens now. Unless you think I mean to make you do all the work, worry not. While you scour Mordona for the plant, I will contact Master Rose and convince him to help, though I doubt it will require much effort.
Yeah, that's true enough. Well, we haven't met Redolent Rose in this little sequence, mainly because I haven't done any of the non-combat classes, but he's a character, let me tell you. Alright, there's the direwort shrub. The purple smoke leads me to believe I'm about to get smacked in the butt. Yep. Oh, hi! Oh, shit. You know what? You can have the dot. The dot is enough to kill them in one hit. That is hilarious. Oh, okay. I didn't actually pick it up. The game was like, no, you gotta deal with the minions first. Here we are. Now to go talk to Redolent Rose. Yep, like I said, eccentric.
I suppose you do have a rather scholarly air about you. I've been expecting you, Dekumon. Have you the leaves and Alkazoka's designs then?
There's that and that. Of course, I gotta pick a decent voice for this guy properly.
A crafting raiment has not been seen in 1,500 years.
This is indeed a daunting challenge.
But it is one I suspect I will enjoy a great deal, for rare is the day a weaver revives ancient fashion. I shall begin at once. You may observe if you like, but be aware it will be a lengthy process. There we are. It has been some time since I labored with such intensity. I adhered to Alkazoka's designs as best I could, though there were certain aspects I felt compelled to change. His lack of familiarity with textiles and weaving led to what I can only assume are errors. You will note that I can only complete the culottes. This is because the other garments require skills which I do not possess. Mistress Serendipity and Giver of the Goldsmiths and Leatherworkers Guilds, respectively, can provide the finishing touches to the remaining pieces. But you were unaware that I could not craft the full set by myself, weren't you? Very well. I shall send word to them on your behalf, Dekumon. You will need only visit each guild and present to them my unfinished work.
Lucky for me, the goldsmiths are also in Uldar, and the game's like, yeah, we want to do these first.
Greetings, Dekumon. Red said you'd be along shortly, So, let's see that mortarboard.
The what?
This shouldn't take long. Wait here a moment.
She's gonna grind me up something good.
Here it is, as promised. Amazing what a difference a mithril tassel can make, isn't it? Wear it with pride, Dekumon. Now, off you go, and be sure to enjoy your time in Gridania.
Right, that's what the leatherworkers are. Okay, and now for Geva.
Ah, Dekumon, the man who would single-handedly revive the scholarly arts. All right then, show me what you've got.
Here you are.
Master Rose's work is marvelous, as to be expected. This will be a pleasure. Here we are. And almost. Not quite. There we go. There you go. One pair of fingerless buffalo leather gloves. Perfect for the scholar who prefers that his protection does not come at a cost to dexterity. Oh, the boots? Belly will see to those. He's an expert cordwainer, so you needn't worry about the quality. Besides, I've already spoiled you by making your gloves for free.
Belly. Oh, there's another leatherworker.
You're the scholar, yeah? I've been instructed to assist you. If you would please let me see Master Rose's work.
Here you are.
Well, the craftsmanship was amazing. I can't wait to get started. There we are. Hang on. Nope, just a few more nails. There we go. Here you are, sir. Made with the finest boar and buffalo leather, in accordance with Alkazoka's designs, which are very impressive, I must say. You must be dying to see the complete set. I know I would be, had I gone to such great lengths. You ought to surprise him by wearing the garments when next you meet him.
Oh, that's interesting. It's red. I see. You're gonna make me literally wear this crap. Other than the body, obviously, because we ain't got one of those. My legs. Give me my feet. And suddenly the quest is completable. There. 4 pieces of crappy Realm Reborn artifact armor and 1 piece of Shadowbringer's artifact armor.
By the gods! I feel as though I've been transported backwards through time. You are the very image of the Nemean scholars of Eld. Apart from the body piece, we'll work on that. Well, minus the gown, of course, but still. Never in my wildest dream did I think it would turn out this well.
And clearly Eos approves as well.
I see you approve as well, little one. Suffice it to say we can consider this a great success.
But I will not continue to wear these, however. Actually, you know what? Let's continue to wear these, at least for the rest of the Realm Reborn ones. It will depower me for a little bit. For your fellow man.
Ah, yes. I forgot to mention that while I was awaiting your return, I made considerable progress with the deciphering of my Nemean tablets. Much of what I have learned until now has pertained to the role of scholars within the military. However, these latest texts offer insight into a scholar's activities during times of peace. As you can imagine, they were not the sort to let their restorative magics go to waste. One particularly stirring account describes their selfless efforts to combat the spread of a virulent plague which at one point threatened to engulf all of Nim. Naturally, they did so with the aid of their fairies, which is why I believe that similar acts of charity may serve to further awaken your winged companion. If you are of a mind to test my theory, why not journey to Camp Bronze Lake? You will find no shortage of the sick and wounded there. Rukusa Farusa would doubtless welcome your services were you to offer them. He presides over the Warm Wine Sanatorium, so be sure to have a word with him if you decide to go.
Well, I'm not deciding to go, the game is. Oh, look at that, another Lala.
Hello, and welcome to Bronze Lake. If you desire treatment, Pardon? You wish to administer treatment? Are you even qualified to? Wait, you must be Dekumon, the scholar! Oh, we are happy to accept any assistance you could provide. I'm told you possess magics which can cleanse the body of toxins, impurities, and maladies. At the present, we have 5 patients visiting the springs who would benefit from this care. Pay attention to these individuals and return to me when finished.
Cast a Suna on 5 different bodies. That should not take too long, I just gotta find them all. And make sure I can actually be on a Suna. Boom!
You've been Asuna'd. My lungs. I can breathe again. Bless you, sir. Bless you. That was easy. Oh, I just need to find the others, which I imagine... It says it right here. Ah, there you are. Wine soaked.
Why'd you have to go and do that? Oh, fucking hell, they take my wine away. Drunken sod, lovely. Here's the next one who needs a little Asuna.
Eh? What'd you do? You took something from me. Something bad. I don't know what you did, but I'm glad you did it. Thank you.
I think the reason they're having us do Asuna here specifically is because, I believe in Realm Reborn, before we had roll actions, Asuna was specifically tied to... What am I being attacked by? What the fuck? Hi there. Bye there.
That was weird.
Did we literally drag that out of that guy with the frickin' Asuna? Anyway, next up, sir.
What's this warmth? Did you do that? Thank you, whoever you are.
The fairy starts to remember. And I go and look for the last person on my list. I think they're up top. Yep. There you are. Here you are, ma'am. Feeling better now?
You set me free. I no longer feel his eyes upon me.
His eyes? Corruption lingers again. Curious. Very curious. That was weird.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What you did for those patients was nothing short of miraculous. The commanding officers would be pleased to hear that they can return to active duty. You and Alkazoka have my deepest thanks, Dekumon.
Speaking of Alkazoka, that's where we're headed. Here we are.
Ah, Dekumon. Rakusa Ferosa tells me that your potion magics exceeded all expectations.
And? Bonus, our fairy's remembering more stuff as well.
Oh, had a good time, did you? I thought you might. It warms my heart to see the two of you making such great strides. And it reminds me that I must work harder to see that I am not left behind. For the nonce, I will resume deciphering the Nemean tablets. Though they have yielded an immense quantity of information on the scholarly arts, I remain confident that they contain an equally impressive wealth of tactical information.
Sure they do. Well, we've only got one quest left for the Realm Reborn, so we'll see. Oh. I got a new skill, Lustrate. I do not remember which one that was. Lustrate. It might be one that got replaced. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. Alright, oh well. Last quest, the Beast Within. That's scary sounding.
Dekumon, you must come with me at once. Another Tonberry has emerged from the Wondrous Palace. A traveling peddler caught sight of the fiend and fled to Camp Bronze Lake. Once again, it falls to the Marauders Guild to find and slay it. This time, we will hunt the Tonberry in greater numbers, so that we might surround it and cut off all avenues of escape. I have not forgotten our previous attempt to slay one of these foul creatures. Nor have you, I trust. I have your assurances that we will keep your fairy in line this time, yes? Then let us make for Bronze Lake at once. Our comrades have already departed, and I do not wish to fall behind. We will rendezvous with them at the same place we battled the first Tonberry. Let's see if this goes any better. Well, no one's surprised there as another duty calls. Now, let's see if I remember how this quest actually goes. Oh, thank the gods you have come, Dekumon. Any later we might have had to proceed without you. The Tonberry appears to be in some sort of trance, and is oblivious to our presence. Is everyone ready? Yep. If I remember correctly, the Tonberries are the Nemeans. Though I'm not 100% sure about that. Excellent. Remember, we must surround the fiend. It cannot be allowed to flee.
My son, my dear son. Stay away. I cannot.
Oh dear. I think this thing needs to be a Sunad.
Oh, damn it, not again! It's 6th century inside the Wanderer's Palace. Come, let us follow and finish this once and for all.
Oh, that's creaky looking. Wanderer's Palace. I haven't been to Wanderer's Palace in ages. This doesn't come up in the roulette all that often. Alright. Defeat the Tonberry Wanderer. But I have to find the Tonberry Wanderer first. Need my magics. No, I think you're good. Oh, got some strays here. Oh, wow, yeah, you guys cannot take a hit. Rancor Flame. Why? Or more pressing matters. I can't do anything with these. Yeah, they don't care. They're just straight up invulnerable. They give no craps. Alright, I guess we just gotta move on and deal with more Tonberries. This is where I'm gonna find out that whacking the Tonberries, yeah, it's spawning all these Rancor Flames, is gonna end badly. He doesn't really need any health. I can't even heal him if I wanted to. The game's like, no, he's not a valid target. So where is it, man? More Tonberries. More Rancor Flames. Well, they're moving now. Oh, there's the actual big one. Get these off of him. Need to do much else. Need my freaking ether flow for anything else at the moment other than just blasting him in the face. Excuse me. That's new. Fetid Fairy? Did you just... He literally just summoned like a corrupted version of our fairy. Spawning more flames constantly here. And now he's running. Why is he running? Where are you going, buddy? Everyone's grudge. Nope, that's gotta go. Oh, they're moving. I see, now I have to deal with these damn things. There we go. I imagine if those had reached Alkazoka and the Tonberry, it would have been bad.
What? Again? Why'd you protect this demon?
Come on, Alka, use your brain. Mm-hmm. Heal the Tonberry Wanderer, yep. No, that's not what she wants. She doesn't want it. She wants to protect it. I mean, this thing was talking earlier. So maybe she can cleanse all this rancor that this thing was dealing. Yeah, see? He's no longer covered by the ghoulies.
The rancor.
Feeling better now?
Lily, my son! Why are you here? Who has summoned you?
That'd be me. Imagine he's the owner of the stone before I had it.
The Nim is no more. 1,500 years. Can it truly be so? I was Cerrito Garito, before the sickness from the sea transformed me. The traders, they were the first. As their ears and noses began to atrophy, their limbs grew shorter, and their skin, well, you can see what happens. We scholars tried to halt the spread, tried to find a cure, but in time we too fell ill. Sympathy turned to fear, and fear to anger. Monsters they called us, abominations. Then you were once a man. I was a woman, thank you very much. They sealed the sick within the temple with magics, tried to drown us, tried to forget us. Though our bodies had been changed, our minds remained intact. But within every man lurks a beast, and those whom you call kin deny you, come to hate you and despise you. I too succumbed to the rancor, until you reunited me with Lily, my dearest son.
Yeah, well, I'm not giving her back.
Long has my mind been clouded with hatred, but by the resplendent light of Lily at long last, I am free.
Aww. And just like that, we made a Tonberry friend. Oh! And he was a Lala. A lot of Lalas in this quest. So, wait a bleeding moment. That Tonberry used to be a scholar like you? So, does that mean you're turned into one of them if you keep slinging those spells? Or did I misunderstand what he said back there? What the hell's with it?
I came expecting to fight one Tonberry, not a whole bloody mess of them. If it weren't for you and your flying friend, I reckon we'd not have left there alive. Gotta say, you and Olga made a great team. Shame there ain't more you scholarly types around, because I could use a partner like you. Take care, Dekumon.
Oh, there are plenty of scholars around. Just not many in the story.
I nearly killed him. Oh, thank the gods the fairy stopped me. I wonder, did she know it was Cerrito from the beginning? Or was it only... In any case, she's regained a good portion of her memories, if not all of them, I suspect. Well, if you would excuse me, I need to take some time to put my thoughts in order, and decide how I might explain this to the Axemaster.
I suspect that won't be too difficult. Oh.
Oh.
I thought I was going to go back, but no, Cerrito's the end of the quest line.
That the traditions of my people have not been lost to the ages is of great comfort to me. I do not know how that soul crystal came into your possession, but I am glad that you did. For the sickness robbed me not only of my body, but of Lily as well. The soul of the scholar no longer resonates with my ether. I cannot summon her. Only you can. Only you are fit to wield the magics now. Here, a gown, as befits a scholar of your standing. I bequeath it to you, along with the knowledge of sacred soil, my most versatile art. I cannot thank you enough for purging the rancor from my heart. But there are still countless others who have yet to see the light. I cannot abandon them to their fate. I will not. And so, I bid you farewell, Dekumon. Carry on our traditions with pride.
Aw. That I can do, little guy. That I can do. And there we are. Sacred Soil. The big AoE shield. This concludes the Scholar Quest for Realm Reborn, yep.
Ah, he moved. Interesting.
I'm guessing I have to go back to Alka for the next set of quests. Anyway, I believe I'm going to change back to where I was. Give me a sec. That's much better. I like the 80 set. Now it actually matches properly. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more Eorzea job listings. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Damn, Anima, that's an interesting little angle there.